our next speaker. He comes all the way from Japan, and he's the chief engineer at GMO Pipabo. So welcome Hiroshi Shibata. He's going to tell us how to help with developing the Ruby core.
Hello. Hello, Sophia. Hello, EuRuKo. So I talked to how to begin to develop Ruby core. It contains the secret of Ruby ecosystem. So my name is Hiroshi Shibata. So please call me Hiroshi. My Twitter and GitHub account is HSBT. 4 characters, please follow me. I'm from Japan, Tokyo. 55 hours flight. So I'm happy to talk European Ruby conference at EuRuKo. It's the first time to technical talk outside East Asian nations. So Japan has an international Ruby conference named RubyKai. Do you know RubyKai? Yeah, thank you. So Kai means conference. So 2016 was finished a couple of weeks ago. So RubyKai has a lot of speakers who speak deeply Ruby internals, include Git, concurrency, or GC, etc. So 2017 plan is tentative status. Please follow Twitter account named @RubyKai. So I am chief engineer of GMO Pipabo and a member of Ruby core team. Also maintain Ruby gems, Rake, and Aldoc, and Psych, and more. I maintain many of the core libraries in the Ruby ecosystem. So finally, I'm one of the directors with Raise God Japan events. We have a lot of Raise God events with Tokyo, Kyoto, Nagoya, and other cities in Japan. I support the organizers of these towns. So finally, I need to introduce to GMO Pipabo. Because of CEO and CTO support to travel and hotel costs in EuRuKo. Thank you. Thank you. So GMO Pipabo provides shared hosting server and domain registration and e-commerce platform in Japan. So commercial time is ending. So I start to talk today's main theme. The first section is what's Ruby? What's Ruby? We have variation of Ruby interpreter. Famous implementation is C Ruby, written by C languages. Other implementations are JRuby and Ruby and Opal and more. And we have Ruby applied the standard of ISO standard. There are Ruby and MRuby only. Ruby has the difference between 1.8 and 1.9. Mats made Ruby 1.8. However, VM virtual machine on Ruby 1.9 or later is made by Koichi Sasada-san. Current stable version, Ruby 2.3, uses the same VM of Ruby 1.9. So Mats Ruby is lost now. So I introduce people of Ruby core team. We have 4 full-time committers who sponsored Heroku and Money Forward. Ruby committer number is 91 people and 2 bot accounts. 2 bot accounts every day commit. They are hard workers. However, it contains Armina. Current active committer number are 10 to 20 people. They are branch maintenance. We support 4 branches of Ruby repository. Development branch version 2.4. Stable branch is version 2.3. Auto stable branch is 2.2. and only security maintenance branch, version 2.1. They are maintained by 3 people, named Naruse and Nagachika and Usa-san. Moreover, we have platform maintenance. They maintain platform-specific issue. Current support platforms are Linux, Windows, BSD, and Solaris, and macOS. If you have platform-specific issue, please ask these people on our issue trackers. We have a policy of maintenance scope. So Matt has the responsibility of language design on Ruby language. If you have a new feature or syntax, you need to get to accept from Matt. It's too difficult. So Sasada-san maintains VM and related issues such as thread and GC and evaluator. Also, Quark classes such as string, array, hash, and more are maintained Ruby committers. However, it is related to language design. We discuss with Matt before new implementations. Standard libraries such as OpenURI, NetHTTP, and URI and more are maintained each committers. It does not need to accept from Matt. It is the difference between Quark from Quark classes. Moreover, we have a bundled libraries such as Psych, RubyGems, and RDoc. It is maintained upstreams outside the Ruby core repository. I and Nobu, who are patch monster, maintain and backport theirs. And finally, documentation is maintained by Zachary Scott. So next one is a website of Ruby languages I introduced. So there are official resources over C-Ruby. www is a main internet site. It's an official site. It uses a GitHub repository. We welcome to translate English to other implementation, other languages. And SVN is the main repository of Ruby source code. Bags Rubylang.org is official issue tracker built by Railmine. And FTP is a website of package distribution. Duck's official documentation site. So I have a responsibility for this site reliability and web operations. So we are supported from our factory for CDN now. www and cache Rubylang.org are distributed from our factory. Cache is a package distribution site. If you need to our latest Ruby package, please use a cache Rubylang.org instead of FTP Rubylang.org. It's so fast. So it is a current usage status of factory. USA is 37.9%. European region is about 17%. Asia is about 14%, and other nation is 5%. So I need to describe what's official. So such as official package, official site, official documentations, they are controlled by Matt. On the other hand, these items are not controlled by Matt. So ruby.org, it is different from the docs Rubylang.org. So okay. So, and RubyGems and Bundler, and Ruby package environment managers, so named RVM, Ansett, Ruby. So we cannot take care of these software, we cannot. So finally, Ruby licenses took its BSDL and Ruby license. So please see a file named copying file in Ruby source code. So Ruby is completely OSS. Ruby did not only develop Ruby committers. You can develop or contribute to Ruby language now. So I introduced instruction of developing OSS includes Ruby core. Many of people say OSS is great, so you can contribute or develop OSS. Please do documentation first. So you imagine documentation is easy. Okay, I try to contribute to documentation to OSS. But however, documentation is hard, truly hard. So especially Ruby's situation, no one knows the true behavior of the Ruby languages. It is only Matt knows it. Documentation is tailor work rather than the coding for the programmer. Therefore, documentation is barrier work. So on the other hand, testing and running code is easy. Ruby has a lot of test ecosystem and libraries like MeTest, RSpec, and Capybara. Moreover, now Bandwidth and Travis provides us with an instruction of their environment. If you get test failures, you can submit the issue ticket to their trackers, like a GitHub. If test coverage is missing for some Ruby code, you can also write new test and submit a patch. So you can read Travis configuration on Ruby languages, like other Ruby gems. So you will get like this. So these instructions are hard to understand by the Ruby committers too. I can't understand this. So I introduced the run test of Ruby language and fix it. These instructions are basic process of Ruby development includes Ruby committer. First, write code. It is the most important things. Next one is a test, run a test and test passes. And next one is please create our track account and submit your patch into the Redmine. Okay, and press submit, it is all done. So I give details for a test and proposal writing. How to test Ruby languages? So these instructions, these 6 instructions are minimum set of Ruby language tests, only 6 commands. It is easy than Rails one. Not need some middleware like MySQL, PostSQL, memcached, and Redis, and other difficult middleware. Not needed. You can get following results. So I described these results. The entry point of make, not rake, make command is this file named common.mk in the Ruby repository. This file contains these tasks related to test invoking. One of the main tasks is a make test command. This task is to build by btest-ruby, and test basic, and test non-bug. btest-ruby means a bootstrap test. This test confirms the simple syntax of Ruby language. Like this. So this assertion confirms the class method returns class storing variables. So define the class C and C dot the class returns class strings. This next one is these assertions prove to name method returns module name like M. Module defined and m.name invoking returns are m strings. And here, if class have a hierarchy, and A colon colon B returns A colon colon B. It's assertion. So next one is test basic. Test basic assert to assign method, assign and method definition and more, like this. So it is a multiple assignment. So A comma equal nil. So we need to assign A equal nil. So it's too simple. So who require these tests? This answer is here. So if you were interested in developing language VM, GC, syntax, and more, make test helps you. So sometimes a member of Ruby core team applies biggest internal changes. Their first goal is a test pass or make test, assignment, and class returns, and more. Next one is make test all command. It is near your side, not language developer. If you are interested in Roga library, you can test the Roga library with these instructions. Make test all and environment variable name the test equal Roga. So test all supports per execution, like this. Make test all and test equal -J4. So it is a test case of array class. It is a simple test to test using X unit style, not RSpec. You need to define test method prefix test underscore, like this, test underscore %array, test underscore 0 literal. These tests check to manipulate array instructions. So it is a assert equal, so %array bracket foo bar equal, so symbol foo and symbol bar array. So it is a simple. So next one is test logger file. This file is a test case of logger library. It is same as array tests. So it is simple X unit style test. So it is inheritance from test unit test case. So we create a logger instance and setting up basic instructions and added to logger string, and we assert logger configurations. So test -ext- directory contains C API tests. It is a test of RV array resize API. If you are C extension gem author, I recommended to run these files under the test-ext- directories. These tasks named make test all for you. Most of Ruby's can write a test code. You can write a language test same as your application and the gem library using X unit style tests. Make check is a full task for the Ruby language test. You need to invoke it before submitting a patch or pull request into our Ruby core team. So next topic is why Ruby uses two test framework named the test unit and the me test. We have some bundled libraries like Ruby Gems and RDoc and Psych and anymore. These upstream are not Ruby core repository I say again. So we need to adopt to use several test frameworks, use the upstream repositories. So it is a complex situation. So it is an instruction of RubyGems merger, RM, CP, and git checkout. So we need to guarantee to work these bundled libraries on the Ruby core and upstream repository. So backport is too hard. It's too hard. Example situation of RubyGems is here. So RubyGems release version still supports Ruby 1.8. Some of useful methods like temp_file.close exclamations are not provided Ruby 1.8. We could not use it on RubyGems upstream repository. So we need to handle our response to method, close exclamation method. So it's too hard. So, okay, next topic is RubySpec status. Do you know RubySpec? Do you know? RubySpec is a project or an executable specification for the Ruby. However, the original project is sunset status now. So Elegant, who are Ruby committer, forked RubySpec to our Ruby/spec repositories. It is available on GitHub. We use Ruby/spec to guarantee to regression tests, regression behavior. You can invoke RubySpec, Ruby/spec, and the Ruby core repository you can run. You need to run make update RubySpec and make test RubySpec task. So Ruby/spec it uses mspec. It's not rspec. However, mspec provides a rspec side test case like this. So describe, do, a block int. It behaves like a string concat. It behaves like string concat encoding. So it is a shared example file. So, but it is different from our rspec side. So mspec uses a describe and edit with a shared to option. It provides a shared example in rspec. So it is a string append specs. Yeah. So please check details to Ruby/spec repositories in GitHub. If you were interested in spec side tests and Ruby core behaviors and regressions, please submit pull request to this repository, GitHub Ruby/spec. So at Harris, who are author of Jeremy, said, so nice to see RubySpec. So RubySpec helps other implementation of Ruby, like Jeremy and Opal. So we welcome to submit new tests for our Ruby 2.3 and 2.4 features. Next one is test coverage. So we have a coverage mechanism or Ruby standard libraries. These instructions show test coverage of web-break. So you need to add coverage equal ET or 2 or etc. environment variable and run test all command. So you can get this result. So sorry, small characters. So it shows that do get tests is no test. It is a so serious status. Please do to run the test and write a test and submit it to our admin or GitHub. test coverage is always welcome. We are always welcome to test coverage increase patch. Okay, so you can test Ruby language now. So it's all. Next topic is Ruby core developing. So how request Ruby core? So we need to pass these requirements for our future requests, includes our Ruby committers. So we focus on our use cases than function. And we focus the code than idea. Code is too important. We need to match approval. So it is the most important and challenging and difficult things. So, however, match accepts some cases without use cases. It's a secret. So these are symmetrical cases, like array, shift, and unshift methods. It's a symmetrical method. If you found an unsymmetrical method, so you can propose a symmetrical method. One. And system call defined POSIX. So like socket get host by name method. It is defined by POSIX system calls. We will add this system call to our Ruby method. And the last one is a backend segmentation halt. So back rebot is much easier than feature request. It is not need to match approval. You need to attach reproduction code, minimal reproduction code, and writing expected behavior or intentional behavior. And the log file and the results with a defined version of Ruby. We approve your issue and fix it. We'll fix it. Our tracker is built by Redmi. So we applied some of customizing of mailing list integration. Mailing list is a Ruby core or Ruby dev or Ruby list. It is integrated with our trackers. So we upload to your pull request on the GitHub repository named /ruby/ruby. So why Ruby core team uses GitHub mainly? So it reads that Math is only available over Redmi. So not available GitHub, it's one. So we start to consider an issue of why Ruby core team does not use Git, not GitHub, does not use Git. It contains many of issues like tool chain of release management and build environment, development resources, and more, and all of Ruby committers announcement, it is too hard. So, but I started to consider to migrating SVM from a Git repository. Please wait our goals. So we have monthly developer meeting I introduced. So we hope to increase to transparency for the Ruby development process. In this meeting, we triage the issue on Redmi. If you have a future request and no response issues, please list to agenda of this meeting, wiki pages, like this. So it is writing by English. Please join our developer meetings. So finally, I introduced gamification plan of the Ruby core. So we hope to reduce Ruby core responsibility and core sources. I'm working this issue. Some of the unmaintained standard libraries like TK or XML RPC are extracted from the Ruby core repository to our Ruby organization on GitHub. Extract library are read from the Ruby commit and maintenance policy and match approval. If you're interested in these extracted libraries, please ask me. I am going to discuss and provide commitment to you. So next topic is how to develop Ruby core. So we have platform test suite named Ruby CI. So Ruby CI is a CI result collector for alternative platform. Contains Linux, Windows, macOS, and Solaris and BSD. Ruby CI. So it is a top page of Ruby CI. So it shows a platform and architecture name and build time and branch name. It is all of trunk branch test results. And shows a revision and the test status. So we guarantee to all green status before release time as a stable version or auto stable version. So we guarantee to work all of platform with our Ruby packages. You can add your server to Ruby CI. We hope to add server to our support platform. However, a popular platform is enough for right now. So we hope to example of ARM architecture with Linux and BSD platform without a free BSD, like NetBSD and OpenBSD. And Windows platform use the MSVC compiler or Cygwin compiler or Bing W compilers. It is a good choice. If you are interested in Ruby CI project, please ask me. Please ask me. So next topic is release cycle. We have the plan to release stable version on Christmas Day every year. In current status, we are developing to our Ruby 2.4 targeted 25 December in this year. We add the new feature to Ruby 2.4. Please wait until our release day in 3 months. Okay, so I illustrated to a backport process or the old version of Ruby. So we only backport to old branch from a trunk, or the branch from a trunk only. We do not apply a patch to trunk branch from our old version. We do not apply our old version to trunk branch. So because of you found some of the issues of an old version of Ruby, please try the latest stable version of Ruby. The most recent version of Ruby still has the same issue, probably. Please submit our tracker when you found some of defects or the version. We have some of rules for release day, like this. We take care of compatibility with old version of Ruby. If we found regression on our new version, Narase-san, who are release manager, revert it. This compatibility policy is to accept with match. Yeah, we accept to our compatibility. So last one is security handling. Security is hard. So we have 2 channels for security reports. First one is a mail address named security@rubylang.org. Please submit security report when you find a security vulnerability. With this mail needs to encrypt it with a DNPZ. We are trying to handle it. But however, we have no security specialists in our Ruby committers. It is a vessel for work. And we adapt to use our HackerOne. Other channel is HackerOne. So we start to use HackerOne in this year, early this year. So it has a bouncy program provided by IBB. Its policy is the same as mail address one. Mail address and HackerOne is okay, welcomed. We released Ruby 2.4 preview 2 on the first day of Ruby Kai. We add some broken changes on Ruby 2.4. Example for unification of integer and Unicode case mappings. If you have gem library and production application and some of your personal application, please do the test and invoke with Ruby 2.4 preview 2 and report our tracker when you face some of issues. So it is a great contribution with no code. It helps as a stable version release. Okay, so conclusion. So I described Ruby secret from Japan. So who developed Ruby? So where is the official resources of Ruby? How to develop Ruby? And what's important of future requests in Ruby? And when do release the new version of Ruby? I described. And final word is, I ask this question for you. So why is Ruby? Matt says Ruby is designed to make programmers happy. So I'm happy. I am happy to develop Ruby language. It's more happy than only using Ruby languages. Okay, thank you, EuRuKo. Thank you very much, attention.